I just get a moment of silence for me and the rest of the Eagles.
Oh, really?
Fans.
Did they die last night? Did they die?
It was bad, Marcellus. It was bad. I'm sitting at my couch, and I'm like, man, I got to go into work tomorrow.
You're not sitting on your couch. You're sitting at it. I heard that. Damn, you heard me.
I'm sitting at it. You know, I'm not on the couch. I'm sitting on the ground.
Yeah, on the ground. Like, I don't deserve to be up there.
I was sick, America. I was sick, but I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to come into work today and blame Carson Wentz for an Eagles issue. That's what I'm not going to do. And let me tell you why I'm not. Because, yes, Carson Wentz needs to play better. Yes. He needs to play better.
Profound statement.
But it's not as though this is all, nor exclusively, nor majority Carson Wentz's fault. Let me talk about whose fault it might be. I wasn't going to go here, but I have to out the gate.
Call him out.
How about my guy, Howie Roseman, the general manager?
Ooh, we got
Can
something
we start there, please?
Okay.
Can we start with the general manager now, Howie? It is your job to build a roster with talent, with players, with receivers, with tight ends, with running backs, to help supplement your $100+ million quarterback. And what have you done? You've left the cupboard empty. Sal, if I say, hey, big dog, can you come over to the crib? You know what I'm saying? I know you can throw down in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Hey, can you come over to the crib? I'm gonna pay you handsomely. Please come to my house and throw down. Make that steak that you did, that New York strip that you be killing. You say, okay, Acho, how much you gonna pay me? I say, yeah, I'm gonna pay you about $100-something million, 59 guaranteed over the next
all the cows
You
gone.
show up to my house and you open up the cupboard and you don't see no seasonings. I'm not gonna blame you. I'm gonna look at the person who's supposed to stock the cupboard. Let's look at it. Cry, Eagles, cry. I got a full screen. Last 2 years, the Eagles' first and second round picks. Jalen Reagor, he had 11 yards last night. Jalen Hurts, he had 2 snaps last night. Andre Dillard, not his fault, but he was hurt. Myles Garrett, he dropped 2 passes last night. And Miles Sanders, he dropped 2 passes last night. And J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, I have not even seen this man. He has 234 career receiving yards. DK Metcalf has, 330 receiving yards against the Eagles the last 2 games. So I'm not going to sit here, Sel, and take the lazy narrative of exclusively blaming Carson Wentz when his cupboard is empty. Is he part to blame? Yes. But his cupboard is empty. So.
Oh, man. I am coming over to your house. I'm going to bring my LaylaAli.com seasonings, because those are my favorite. Shout out to Layla. And I'm going to hook this steak up, and I'm going to keep you on the floor, and I'm going to sit on your couch. Actually, you need to get on your own couch, because you need some therapy. And it's me being a therapist in this moment to help you out. This is all on Carson Wentz. And it's simple why it's on Carson Wentz, because we have paid you. Not just literally, but figuratively, to be the leader, to be the playmaker, to be the one that when all else fails, Carson Wentz, because of the dollar amount, because of the conviction we had in giving you that dollar amount, because of what you showed us in years past to be that playmaker. But is Carson Wentz that playmaker? No, he wasn't last night. Is he the playmaker consistently? No, he's not been this year. If you really want to dig into it, look in the archives, it's been a year plus of anemic play by your guy, Carson Wentz. What's happened in Philadelphia happens to a lot of places that we say has a bad culture, not a winning culture, teams that are at the bottom. You normalize negative behavior. And what's happened here, while you're on my therapy couch, is this behavior has been normalized by Carson Wentz, which is just play okay or bad, but it's all right because you're stuck with me. I'm going to use Carson Wentz against Carson Wentz, because I know a lot of times you want to talk about all these other players or playmakers he doesn't have. Let's just talk about the same person. Carson Wentz versus Carson Wentz. Full screen time. This is his career on the left. 62% completion percentage. Passing yards, you see it, yards per attempt, passer rating. All I want you to do is look at Carson Wentz in totality versus who Carson Wentz was last night. And as you can see, less of a version of himself that's been lesser than the 2017 version. To get his career numbers, Acho, you even have to factor in what he did last night. You have to factor in everything he's done this year. And all of that considered, he's still less than a lesser standard of who he is. Since he's gotten paid, he has not been the guy that they could count on.
So is football the ultimate team sport, yes or no?
Yes, it is, and that's why you can place blame on individuals, because it all adds up.
That was a very calculated answer.
Yes.
Football is the ultimate team sport. Let me tell y'all and show y'all an individual who I would probably blame just as much, if not more. Honestly, the last couple games, more. Alshon Jeffrey, Sel. Alshon Jeffrey, you want to know how much money he's making? $15 million cap hit this year.
That's it?
$15 million for Alshon. Now, Alshon has only played the last 4 games, but let's look at yesterday, a play where Carson Wentz gets sacked. And somebody like Marcellus will say, oh, Carson Wentz, another sack. But was it really Carson Wentz's fault? This is a screen. A screen is called, Alshon's at the top, I'm highlighting him. A screen is called versus a pressure. This is 6, America. Nothing is worse than having a blitz versus pressure. But Carson Wentz has nowhere to throw the screen. So what happens? He takes a sack. Marcellus will say, oh, Carson Wentz takes another sack. But Alshon, it looks like you the man is supposed to run the screen right there. Okay, Acho, but that's just one game.
One play, too.
One play. Oh, can we go to the week before? Cleveland Browns. Alshon Jeffrey, you're 6'5", what, 230 at this point in your career? Former Pro Bowler. I'm throwing you a fade. There's 4 minutes left in the game. We're down by 12. I need you to make a play. You're at the bottom of the screen, highlighted. Alshon, just win. Just win. Do something. But don't get bodied by a 6-foot cornerback because now somebody like Marcellus will come out and say, Carson Wentz, an interception. Those 2 plays I just showed y'all will go down as a sack for Carson Wentz. They'll go down as a pick for Carson Wentz. When in all honesty, that's not on Carson Wentz. That's on his $15 million receiver who also gets paid too. So remember in football, not even in college, in NFL.
Okay.
Every now and then somebody will make a play and what do you say? Hey, they get paid.
About damn time.
Hey, they get paid too. They get paid too now.
Yeah.
Alshon gets paid too now. Miles Sanders gets paid too now. It's Jalen Rager, first-round pick. He get paid too now.
When you turn into the civil rights attorney with that voice, they get paid too now. Like the spread is all around. Equality for everybody. It's not equal. It's not equal in the real world. It's not equal as a human being on this planet. And it's not equal on a team when you get paid the most. You're going to be held accountable the most. You're going to get the most praise and the most criticism. Look at this. I'm tired of using my words against you because I keep defeating you. Let's come from a different perspective. What did Brian Griese say post-game? What's wrong with Carson Wentz? Confidence. He's shot. And I told you this early in the season. Everyone thought it was a hot take. You laughed at me. I told you, I've been there before when all of a sudden you're not believing in everything you do. How do I know his confidence is shot beyond Brian Griese's words on Monday Night Football? Is the fact that if you look at him and his performances, this year the average passer rating in the NFL is 93. The average, Acho, everybody considered average 93. How many times has Carson Wentz had a 93 passer rating this year? Just guess. You're on the floor still until you can get this right.
One. I know it's
not one. Not a single damn time this year. He's not even average. Let's go to the Pro Football rankings, and they're talking about in quarterbacks. You know who's ranked number 30? Carson Wentz. You know who's ranked number 27 that just got benched? Nick Foles. Nick Foles is being assessed and evaluated, playing better at the position, the same position he just got benched playing. And now Carson Wentz is in a situation where all of you doing is you're going out there and deflecting. You're talking about all these players, and he doesn't have weapons. Look at this receiving core last night. Greg Ward had the most snaps. Jalen Rager, first rounder. Alshon Jeffrey, second rounder, used to be a beast. I don't know what he's doing now. Travis Fulgham played himself into a conversation of being a beast. And you got Hightower, who's a fifth rounder. That's who you had out there. You had injuries.
That is what you're bragging about?
Hold on. I'm bragging about this.
That is what you're bragging about?
I'm bragging in perspective to someone who says he has no one to throw to. You got a first rounder, you got a second rounder, you got 2 other rounders. You got guys. But when you are the quarterback, can I say this? When you are the quarterback who has the highest look at your face. Who has the highest rate of inaccuracy of all quarterbacks?
Don't do this, Sal.
That's when you have a problem. He can't hit anybody, no matter who that person is.
You were drafted in the second round, correct?
Yes, sir.
But if I put you out on the field, I'm not expecting you to get a sack. I'm not going to go back and go, wait, well, Sal was drafted in the second round.
But how long?
That's what you're doing with Alshon Jeffrey. Marcellus Wiley. Alshon Jeffrey been hurt the last 2 years. Do not claim his draft status as though he is actual help. I've said this before to you. I've said this to y'all. If there can be addition by subtraction, what can there be?
Subtraction by addition.
Subtraction by addition.
It sounds good. I don't know if it's true.
Travis Fulgham, Marcellus Wiley. He was leading the NFL for 5 weeks, from week 4 to week 8.
That means he's a guy.
Then what happened after the bye week?
But he's a guy.
What happened after the bye week? Alshon Jeffrey came back.
Yeah, the ashes of Alshon. The ashes of him.
Alshon Jeffrey returned, and since then, Travis Fulgham, the player leading the NFL in receiving yards for 5 weeks. Travis Fulgham has 34 yards since Alshon Jeffrey came back. Now I know what you're saying. Wait, Acho, if everybody knew Fulgham was good, why are the Eagles even playing Alshon Jeffrey? Because you play who you pay. And Alshon Jeffrey makes more in one game.
Including Carson Wentz.
In one game than Travis Fulgham makes all season. So I'm not going to sit here and blame exclusively
So why don't you
Carson
follow
Wentz.
the money train all the way to the guy who gets paid the most? If you want to stop right at Alshon, he makes more than Fulgham. Good. But who makes more than him? Who makes more than Alshon? You know it's Carson Wentz, big dog. Look, he has 10 games with giveaways, 2 more than anybody else in the league at the position. 17-20-1. Losing quarterback since 2018. Stop making this about player versus player or this year versus Carson Wentz in his 2017 year. This dude has been in decline, bro. When you going to acknowledge it?
I'm not saying that he's not currently declining. What I am saying is,
what are you saying?
Can we look at why? Who has the most dropped passes in the NFL this season?
Carson Wentz's team.
Exactly. Carson Wentz got the most dropped passes.
Who has the most inaccurate passes thrown?
So if
Carson Wentz.
But if you're going to sit here and tell me, okay, wait a second, Carson Wentz is inaccurate. Carson Wentz got the most
not
picks.
saying it. It's
Carson
just
Wentz
the facts.
completion percentage is
Just
down.